Game Design 1. No, it's not. It's Game Design 2. Game Design 2, the question is, can't get nav mesh to work on a terrain. Did somebody else get that to work?
I did.
You did? Anything weird about it?
No, I just set the terrain to static and...
See, I kind of thought terrains were static by default. Like here, I just brought in my terrain and it starts out static. So let's have a look at that. I'm just gonna increase... What just happened? What is happening? Did you just build 3 of them?
He added neighboring terrain.
Oh. Thanks. I don't want you, and I don't want you. Get out. Alright. So here we are. Okay, that's way too strong, and the brush size is way too small. Let's take this opacity down. There we go. So always with broad strokes first. And always without much thought for it, because that's how you get like the most randomization. So giant brush strokes make for something like that. And then if I go to Window, AI, Navigation, and Bake, and hit Bake.
I'm gonna take somebody with nav mesh or with terrains.
Like it baked, but...
So you got the blue.
Just like turn, and that's all they would do. They wouldn't actually...
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so it's still thinking. I probably should have just made my terrain smaller. I think I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to go Settings. It starts out at 500 by 500. I want this to be 200 by 200. Bake that. Right, empty projects. I have the FPS controller, so. Are you done baking yet? Yeah, you are done baking. So this is what you got. Mine's a little bit off because apparently it thinks that my terrain is still giant. Great. Let's rebake that again, no big deal. Okay, that's better.
Okay, that thinking would have a lot better than mine.
And then let's put an AI object on it, yeah? Here's you, and you are a nav mesh agent, and we'll just set a quick move to script. Come on, catch up. Thank you. Okay, and then we'll have a nav mesh agent. Agent is equal to this dot game object dot get component nav mesh agent, and then we'll say, so we need a public position, right? Public transform goal. Say agent.destination equal to goal.position. Just like that, right? And so I will build a game object, 3D object sphere, and put it here. This will be the goal. This capsule will have this goal. When I hit play, it should move. So, I don't know what you did, man, but we can look at it. Let's actually look at it right now.
I realize it will file at home, so...
Yes. You know about Git?
Yes.
Use Git in this class. Or a flash.
Well, I had a flash drive. I thought I put it on there and I plugged it in and saw
Yep.
that I didn't have it.
Microsoft
Okay.
OneDrive helps too.
Other questions? Gina, why do you have so many trains? Did you do the same thing I did?
These are quads.
Those are quads. We'll be using the one from last week.
My yeah. Mine is gone or something.
Okay, well I don't see anything missing from your scene. Sometimes like the terrain gets corrupted and stops showing up, but it'll say missing pretabs and right here, it just says nothing. So it sounds like you did it accidentally.
No,
Well, if it was there and it's not now, I don't know what to tell you. It usually stays in the hierarchy if it's still there. So you don't have any terrain assets here. So just scroll down for me. Go down, hang on. Just scroll down. You want to do a search for terrain? Yeah, it's not gonna be there. You can try, like, this is the project that you downloaded from the internet, because you had it from home.
yeah. Yeah.
You can try downloading it again and reopening it again.
Okay.
That's all I got for you. Sorry.
Okay, and then what do you
Yep, just like that.
Yeah.
How's it going?
I left this here last week, so I wasn't able to work on it. I didn't remember the code.
Cool.
So I'm going to be working late tonight.
Cool.
Oh, correction. I remembered how to do the ins and the health stuff, but I didn't remember how to set up the hotbars. So I got the all the potion bottle script working.
Of course you do.
But
You know what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Say that.
Alright, so today I want to talk about saving and loading, which we did a little bit in mobile game development, but we're going to do it again here in class. I need to download the standard assets again and get my trees in here. Mostly I just need grass. Why can't I open you? What's happening? Seriously? Huh. That's weird. Okay. Right. Lighting, can I have you not? Still lost, Chiquita?
Yep.
That is a bummer.
Oh well. Yep. I'll just have to make do. Getting.
Yeah, that's not the end of the world. You'll be alright.
Yep.
It's practice, right?
Yep, I had to do the exact same thing at home. Cause it was not actually, at home, so I had to rebuild it, but that's okay.
So I hope you're building something similar to what I've got here. Let's do negative, let's do 20, 25. So 4 areas separated by 3 platforms. I might not have anybody in my first area, so it's going to work out pretty well. Alright. So let me see if I can catch up to what y'all have done over the homework. One of the things you want to keep track of when you're building navigations for terrain is that you don't want your AI to be able to just like walk under the water. So what I'll build in a little bit is just a bunch of boxes that say, what is it? Navigation static, and that'll like break up where they can walk. There's a lot of messy stuff here that I also will just cancel. And then I'll just make them invisible, and that'll be fine. Okay, so So I've got these white areas here. I'll make them invisible, but for now they're just knocking out the map, the nav mesh. So what I can do is I can set them to just be invisible, and then when we look at that navigation map, okay, for some reason you can still walk inside them. That doesn't make any sense. I think I can also select a certain component. So nav mesh obstacle. Yeah. Nope, that's not what I want. Shape box, size, carve. Yeah, okay, so carves out that area so that nav mesh doesn't try to go inside that box. Excellent. Yeah, that's beautiful. This should be fun. Yeah, yeah. Getting ready for a fight. Unfortunately, all the red ones are in the front. Gonna fight on this bridge. Probably die. Whoa. Oh, because it's in void start. So it only cares when I first get there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So how did you get the AI to stop running it all?
To stop doing what?
How did you get the damage?
Oh, that carved button is the important one. So wherever you decide to place the checkpoint on your bridges is up to you. I think I'll put mine right in the middle. I'm going to build a 3D object sphere. I'm going to make its size something like 5. Maybe larger. And one of the things you're going to end up doing, is saving the position of this sphere. And the player is going to teleport back to this sphere when the player dies. So we need to make sure that the vertical center, when the player teleports to here, with its vertical center, that it's not going to fall through the bridge. It's going to be above the bridge. So that's something you want to keep in mind as well. I'm then just going to turn the mesh renderer off. I am going to tag this as a checkpoint. Should probably also name it. I'm also going to name it checkpoint 1. I'll turn that mesh renderer on, make sure it's a trigger, so that the player doesn't get stuck walking through it. Huh, that's cool. What a delightful sound.
I wear noise canceling headphones, but I kind of need to listen.
Ooh, that's fancy.
It looks like a geosphere for 3DS Max.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
There's one called Spatial Mapping Wireframe. does some weird stuff. Okay, you know, whatever. I basically just want to show off, like, hey, this exists. I wish I had a mostly transparent. I guess I could build one. Okay, there are my 3 checkpoints. So I'm going to go into my FPS controller and my player controller scripts. I'm going to go to on trigger enter and have an if other.gameObject.compare tag checkpoint. And then I'm basically just going to call the checkpoint script. So I just threw a little debug.log inside the checkpoint script so that I could see that I have found a checkpoint. And then I'll just go test that in Unity. Streak light is on. It is a trigger. It's not tagged. Okay. Excellent.
Oh, just as in, see that the script there. All right, Logan?
It works.
It works. Good. Yeah, don't forget to check it. All right, so Saving and loading. Let's have. So what are we saving? We're saving the player's health, the player's mana, the player's XP, and then let's also save player position.
If you go, do you want to respawn all the enemies you killed before the checkpoint, or?
We can not do that too. Diablo 2 style didn't remake the enemies. So it depends on what you're doing. Yeah, if I had to keep track of the enemies I've killed, how would I even do that?
Could you create like a sample scene or a temporary scene that takes a snapshot and saves it,
There's a new scene every time.
and then deletes the old scene when a new scene is taken?
Man, maybe. That sounds expensive.
Yeah, that sounds processing power.
I wonder if a game like that has something like every enemy you kill has a unique identifier, or you've killed a number of enemies and they spawn in. I don't know. Ugh. That's a good one. I wonder how that happens. Did I forget to send around the sign-in sheet? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to build this once, and then I'm going to go find the sign-in sheet. So player prefs dot set. I think health is an int. We'll name it health, and we'll give it the value of health. Excellent. So get mana and XP in there as well. And I will be. I'm just going to do it this way. You're old school today. So player prefs is something you should look up, but essentially it just saves this value, and it'll save it outside of play. So if you load your game from the main menu after you've quit, that is fine. And so the idea is we can't do a set vector 3, but we can do a set float. So we're just going to get the x, the y, and the z positions and set those. And hopefully it'll let us get that float and assign it a value afterwards. Okay, I like that better. So we save all these things and we hit play to test, but there's really no way to test that we've actually done this until we get to our loading. So we're going to do loading next. So these names are strings and they have to be exactly right. Hi, Elijah. So I'm gonna just scroll up just a little bit. Here's what we're working on there. I could probably make that a little bit larger for you, couldn't I? So I can set health min NXP, and that's easy. And then we just create a new vector 3 named respawn position. And then we set the X, Y, and Z of that respawn position, and then move the player to that new space. Hopefully it works. I'm not. Let me know. I guess I can freeze this and then try it out. Freeze. Oh, I guess I also need a way to make this happen. So if input.getKeyDown keycode.r. Okay, so I can see it moving, but the FPS controller will need to be changed in terms of its rigid body. Sweet. Appears to be working. Ooh, it did not. Oh, it did. Okay. Yeah, that's another thing that we'll have to do. But I'll let you test and then we'll fix it. So if you can test with actual enemies in there, then you can watch your health go down and then you can reset. And test everything that is in this reset to last checkpoint. Oh, is that the only way that triggers? So if you walk through, yeah, okay, so that's where you died. Okay, cool. So, step one, go to your FPS controller, change the rigid body component to be interpolate and continuous. Here, I'll show you. Unfreeze. It lets us move the player. I don't know why it has to be that way, but we can't move the player if we don't update these two things. And I think it only needs to be continuous. Maybe it fixed itself to be something else. Yeah, but those two things need to be updated. And that'll let you teleport back to your checkpoint. Either when you die, or I added input director key down R to call reset. So you can just press R at any time to go back to your last checkpoint.
What was the get key down?
Right here.
If input deck.
Oh, what? Okay.
You want this code here?
Yeah. Okay. I need to check
First
what
one?
code.
There it is.
This one.
Okay. Jada, anything else not working like you expect? Cool. Jada doesn't have her health resetting, right? But your health probably is resetting. We're just not resetting the sliders.
Oh, so you just have to update.
So we just have to update the display. Yeah. So I don't know if we have a update UI. Yeah, but let's just call update UI when we reset to last checkpoint. Because otherwise it'll look like our health didn't update, but it did. And the first time we would attack an enemy, it would all reset, because that's what happens when you fight. But that update UI is going to make all the difference.
The position is resetting for me.
Did you fix your player collider, your player controller's rigid body? So it should have flickered for like 1 frame.
Yep, it's been.
Yep. Okay, so under rigid body, change this to interpolate, and this discrete to continuous, and you'll be good. You need something, Elijah?
I just want to know if I got it. I got receipt. Should come.
There's one more step under reset. So you made the position, and then you just need to make the player go to that position, and then update the UI.
Man, there's more full RNG with this one.
Yeah, you are.
There we go.
So if you press R, does it reset?
I hit H, yes it does.
Sweet.
So that's it.
Sweet.
Why does it look an interpolate though?
Oh, so not good stuff. Oh, yeah. Hover over that. Using the same local variable. Oh, we've got that's how I still on it. Oh shit, I knew. That's so weird. Cool. And it worked. That part's not important right now.
Okay.
Just the checkpoint.
Yeah, but like what about the shop?
That part's not important right now. Yeah, all that I care about right now is the checkpoint.
Okay, well,
Cool. It's probably pretty small and hard to hit. That probably makes that a little less secure. Just as far as wideness goes.
Still, I forgot to put the trigger on there.
Cool.
okay, so just have this part probably around that big. I'm gonna see.
Where'd you find that
would
wireframe
work.
texture? What texture you use for your checkpoints?
Yeah. Spatial mapping wireframe.
Oh, I never measured it.
You might not have it. It's a setting. It's a a standard asset. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I have many.
Huh, I can't even search for it. It's weird. I don't know what it's from then. Yeah, there it is.
That's cool.
Isn't it cool?
When I reset my bars, when I start my game, my bars are empty until I hit an enemy.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing that, because it wasn't doing it.
Call reset UI in awake or in start.
I forget to everything set to 0, correct?
Well, the bars just don't have to. But it says everything's
100. Okay.
so until I press something.
Okay, then I'm just saying. Just put my UI in fully. So where's void start? Okay, so
Which one? What did it And then when I reset it, a checkpoint does it, but it doesn't update whenever I hit an enemy.
Mr.
Yeah, what's up?
I have some. I have hands.
Do we have to
Enemies
the
on.
man
Not let me make sure.
the man phone instead of
no, that was
So, right up above here, you are missing this line.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait, yeah.
Sure, go for it.
I said you see that.
okay.
So Brian,
Yep.
would there be a way to like call a script,
Where's the UI?
like for every instance that is in the scene? So put the script on the enemies. So then in your checkpoint script, you have it that it calls that, and all of those enemies run that script. Is there a way to do that without having to link a bunch of enemies to that priority?
Well, so you could build a parent like enemy manager, and all you have to do is do find game objects with tag, and it gives you an array, a list of all the objects with that tag. That would probably do it for you. Yeah, what's it say?
It says use of unassigned.
So, did you update these? See X here and Y here and Z here?
No, because I did.
Make sure these aren't all X.
Yeah,
They're X, Y, and Z?
Yep, wait a second, let me check. Wait, wait 1 second. Okay, so. Okay, I see what. Okay, I see what you mean.
normally last week.
I don't know what changed.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's
It is a wonderful time for a break.